Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch. So pull up to woman up.
Happy New Year.
It's 2023. Welcome back to BGP, aka Big Girl Panties. We'd like to welcome back our OG subscribers, and for the new people that are joining us, welcome as well. Ladies, they may not know who we are, so let's reintroduce ourselves for 2023.
Hey, my name is Adrian, aka A.
I'm Nisha.
And I am Mona Lachey. We are BGP, Big Girl Panties, and we also have some special guests joining us today. We said that once we hit our 100th episode that we would go live, so we are live. Welcome back. We call these men our family. Mr. Ronan Martin from the Book of Ronan.
Yay.
Yay.
And welcome back, Mr. DS1 Ross from Sheep Stay Sleep TV. How you guys doing today, sirs?
Good.
What's going on? What's
Okay.
going on, ladies?
So, 2022 was wild.
It was.
We lost many rappers. We've lost some male YouTubers. We've lost females through cosmetic surgery, BBLs. Sex toys are being advertised off the chain. Kyrie and Kanye lit up the airwaves. Little Romeo had a meltdown on social media. He has some issues with his father, Master P. Erica Mena and Safari got a divorce, and she's pissed off that she's not getting a lot of child support. What else do we know? A lot of things, and hopefully we'll get to recap some of those stories while the gentlemen are here. There's broadcasts that we do that we can just do as ladies, but some things that we need answers to, we need the men here to balance out the broadcast. And all of our broadcasts are solution-based broadcasts, so when we all get together, adults get to adulting. Mm-hmm. It's Sunday. Jamal Bryant, pastor of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, where they rock for Jesus, did an interview, and he said that he wanted to find the men that smelled like weed because he wanted to teach them how to farm. The church has 250 acres of land, and he wanted to farm marijuana in the name of God. So I'm going to go straight to the brothers. Brothers, this is on you. What do you think about Jamal Bryant trying to bring the men back to church via marijuana farming?
Well, I'm gonna say it's a hell of a tactic. You know, it also shows just how street a lot of these dudes are. You know, a lot of these guys aren't they are not too far removed from the streets, from the hood. Mm-hmm. So that's really what it is. That's how I look at it. It's just a way for him to legally be a drug dealer. Mm. You know, a lot of these pastors, you know, if they weren't in their past life, they always wanted to be street dudes. And the ones who couldn't make the cut, or the ones who were super street dudes, they came out as pastors, imams, and you know, Hebrew Israelites, all of that thing. And then the guys who couldn't make the cut in the streets, you know, they start talking about hallelujah and shaking a tambourine. But at the end of the day, it's there's just a lot of low level activity that he wants to be involved in. You know, that's all it is. That's how I look at it. I don't see it creating anything for black men but a way for us to go to prison. Because as soon as he get mad at somebody, he gonna tell. So
Rhonda Martin.
Yeah, that's what I gathered right there. He wearing a wire. And it's hypocritical activity where, you know, he's talking about, hey, I'm growing weed in the name of God, which is very bold. But yeah, as my brother said, when it comes down to it, whenever he feels the right to do so, he can point names out. You can have a whole history. It's basically a biblical RICO case, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Adrian.
I mean, with all that you could do with that much land, why you choose to sell weed or grow weed, I'm sorry. I just think there's reentry programs, things to help men that are getting out of prison, to help educate them, get them ready for work and things like that. So many different things. And Jamal Bryant was one of my favorites. I've actually seen him in person. He brings the word good, but this really was a turn off for me. I really think there's so many different things that you can do besides growing weed.
You know what? I say go for it. I'm gonna be the eyeball. If he want to make some more money off of his parishioners, why not? Make the money. Weed is legalized nowadays anyway, so, and it's supposed to be, you know, good for the body. Natural. If not taken in, you know, if we don't overdo it. So most of his congregation probably already smoke weed, so why not get some more money from him? Go ahead. That's my thoughts. Mona.
I want to know what in the grape juice white cracker is going on around here. First question would be, what would Jesus do? Would Jesus want 250 acres of weed on his land when he's trying to get everybody to go to heaven? 250 acres of land could be used for actual farming. Fruits and vegetables and livestock, pigs and cows and chickens. Maybe he may not want to do that because allegedly I've heard that a lot of the farmers are saying that the government is paying them to destroy their crops and they're selling their livestock for 50 cents a pound, but putting it in the stores for $15, $30 a pound. I just see that he could do much better with that land. 250 acres, that can be houses. If everybody got a half an acre and put a house on it, that could be 500 houses. I don't think that's how you bring the men back to church. Do you guys think about the danger of having a weed farm on the church property?
Yes. I see the dangers as far as like carnal activity in and around the church more than usual.
He said carnal activity.
Yeah, people laying of hands in other places.
Oh, yes.
And the thing is, like, you bring a negative element in there. Like, how's that going to look if you're supposed to be getting cleaned? It's supposed to be an infirmary for people to get healed rather than get high.
And let's not forget, it might bring the Jack Boys in there. They're gonna rob the whole church.
That's
Where
what
the
I'm
weed
talking
at?
That's true. Now that's true.
Where the weed at? Don't say it ain't in here, because we smell it.
Yes.
Not smell it, you can actually see it. Can we imagine what 250 acres of weed is going to look like? And I have to agree with DS1. The jackers are coming.
The cartel.
The cartel is coming. And he said he's looking for the men to that smell like weed. Then he'll know what strands to get.
Right?
with stress to grow. If they already smoking weed, he doesn't have to do any actual research. He could be like, "Hey, Mo, what you smoking on?" And I'll be like, SpongeBob. you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It just sounds horrible.
It really
When you think
does.
about Jamal Bryant, he got ran out of Baltimore because he couldn't keep his penis out the little girl's
I mean,
panties.
he had community property penis. He still does, but I mean, again, weed is now legal in most states, so I'm not mad at him from an entrepreneur perspective of trying to make money. If his congregation, like he said, he could smell them when they come in. If they already coming in with it on them, why not get it from the church? If this is going to, quote unquote, bring his congregation or the men back to the church. He might be able to create some jobs. He might be able to get them to come, make money legally as opposed to, robbing somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at it. I think I'm kind of cool with the idea.
I just think the focus is going to be so far away from church.
From Jesus?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
From biblical principles?
Yeah, exactly.
I just think it's a hidden agenda behind it. When you think about New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, Jamal Bryant, he was the successor to, rest in peace, Bishop Eddie Long, and it was alleged that he could not keep his penis out the little boys' boxers. And here's the thing, because I did a little research. When you look at New Birth Missionary Baptist Church, you see that they were in $30 million worth of debt when Jamal Bryant took it over. They renegotiated. They paid the debt down to $5 million, and then they took out additional loans of $10 million. So I don't look at it as him bringing the men back to church. I don't think that it's a good idea as an incentive to get right with the Lord. The only way you can get men there is for them to be able to get a contact high when they're coming on the church grounds. I think he's in debt and he's trying to figure out how to get out of debt, and this would be a quick way to get out of debt. I don't know how long it takes for the crops to mature or whatever, but
Couple of months.
he can do that. I don't think it's right. I think it sends the wrong message to the congregation, to women, to children. Yeah.
And I think if his goal is to help these young men or whomever he says he's trying to help, are you also teaching them business tactics? Are you teaching them how to run a business? I mean, is it just growing the weed and we going to sack it up and send them out there on the street? I mean, what we doing?
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like.
Or is he going to have a dispensary right there on the grounds?
He could. From an entrepreneur perspective, he can create some businesses and he can generate enough revenue to have employees. Like, if I'm looking at it from that aspect, because we already have dispensaries, we already have people selling it and making money, and it's legal. And some people do use it for not just for recreational purpose, but because it helps them with their, with the ills that they're facing or the illnesses that they're dealing with. So if he's doing that and he's going to show them and help, people like, look, I'll sell it, I'll create it, I'll grow it, I'll teach you how to grow, I'll teach you how to, from a business perspective, be able to utilize the money, file your taxes, your paperwork for it, and this creates more dispensaries down the line. I'm for it. Does it have to be on the church ground? No. But what can I see some people going like, oh, Pastor so-and-so, he's selling it, he growing it, he teaching us how to do this. You know what? I'm not against it. I'm not going to be that hypocritical Christian that says like, oh, this is wrong, when this is possibly a chance for him to, like y'all said, the church was in debt. It's going to pull him out of debt. It's going to help them to be on top as a surplus as opposed to, a negative. It'll get more people in the church, and it'll get people to, give more tithes and offering.
For sure, right.
You know what I'm saying? Pastor service, pastor anniversary is going to look real nice. You know what I'm saying? So from that perspective, I don't care.
So speaking about tithes and offerings, so the church's tithes are now going to go to the weed fund.
Who knows?
Instead of the building fund.
See, I got a problem with churches. Nisha knows I have a problem with churches. We have a church on every corner, and the communities get worse and worse. They don't take the tithes and help people that may become homeless. They don't take the tithes for the congregation that may have lost their jobs. They don't take the tithes for people that might need some help on groceries or light bills. They just take tithes to embellish themselves and the immediate organization. I don't see it as a good look. I see it as them trying to profit for him to look good. Had he said something like, everybody can have stock in the dispensary or the weed. You hear a real sound?
Yeah, somebody's
going
texting.
wrong. Oh, yeah.
If you hear someone's texting or they receive a message, we gonna hear it. It's not your phone.
Like, I ain't high.
We live.
And I just see it as a bad look. I see people stealing off the grounds. I see people trying to jump the fences.
That.
The police are being called out there more frequently. I see crime may rise because of it. I just think it's a bad look. Final thoughts?
In my mind, I'm picturing New Jack City where they had them in there butt naked with no shirts on, and it's
Not
not
the
a
butt
good look.
naked.
Yeah, it's butt naked, and so they don't steal the stuff in their purse or whatever. They got them in there butt naked.
They're gonna have to pay for security.
Yeah,
where are they gonna get all this money?
I don't know. I don't think he gave it the full thought of everything. It's not a good idea to me.
Make your money. Do what you got to
Get your
do.
paper, huh?
Make your money. If you got to pimp your congregation, we've been doing it for hundreds of years.
That's true.
Keep
Wow.
pimping. Keep
That's
on
true.
pimping. That's mine.
Ronan, final thoughts?
Fentanyl to the conversation, because that's gonna follow. And then if they're really making an impact, why Skid Row the thing? But the thing it is, it's like a landmark out there. If they're really out there doing outreach, things wouldn't be the way they are. Especially the communities they're in. Why the community is in ruin, but the church is all looking lush somewhat.
Exactly.
That's one of my issues with it.
DS1 Ross.
My issue is he's just trying to steal our swag. He really just want us to come in there and smell like weed, because that's gonna attract the little thotties. The thoughts gonna come in when they smell of weed. So they know who's the boss and selling all the weed, so they gonna lay up with him. He just chasing his dick. That's really what he doing, because he know these young little broke little thoughts like weed. So why not bring all the young street niggas in who smoke all the weed and sell all the weed, so they could tell me what to grow,
Right.
so I know what these little thoughts like, and I know what to give them when they come to my hotel suite after church. That's really what this shit is about. It's about him being a pervert. He ain't got nothing to do with no money.
Wow.
He's still chasing his dick. He's never gonna stop because he has the influence to do so. So why not get a bunch of other black men in here selling drugs and chasing their dick too? So when I go down and look bad, they can all go down with me. We all a bunch of perverts, and he's a devil. He's a demon. That's what them dudes about, man. It ain't about no money. The other dude is about the money. Whitehead, he about the money. Jamal Bryan is about his dick. He's about chasing that little bump on his Johnson. That's what he's about. Chasing that little pee hole. That's what he's about. This ain't got nothing to do with no money or nothing. He know down in Atlanta, all them little thoughts love Zaza. So if they could smell that Zaza 3 miles away, they coming in the door, butt naked. Who got it? Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Come as you are. They come in as they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Mouth open. Come as you are. Come see Pastor. I got you.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. This ain't got nothing to do with no money. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This has something to do with him being a pervert. And a lot of these pastors and religious leaders are perverts. Imams, all of them, they perverts. So they find ways to create situations in the hood so they can attract women and children, because they're perverts.
Yeah.
Period.
And on that note, we're going to puff pass to the next topic.
Good job, guys.
Next month will be our 2-year anniversary on YouTube. And our first broadcast was Let's Get Ready to Rumble. And we were asking everybody to stop the gender wars. And it seems like, fast forward to 2 years, the gender wars have gotten worse. On the women's side, it's let's kill all the male babies, divest to another race, or just, be by your damn self and use sex toys. On the men's side, is men going their own way. They're getting blow-up dolls, or they want to get their passports to go out and find some women outside of America. And if we continue to do this and go down this rabbit hole, we're going to find ourselves extinct. Nobody is interacting with each other. Nobody is getting married. People are not having children. And I would have a question. Are women not desiring to become wives because men are not presenting themselves to them as husbands? Adrian. In today's society.
In today's society.
In this environment.
I think there is a lot of men right now do not present themselves as husband material. I think that, especially in the age group that I'm in, they've either already been married and divorced, maybe married and divorced a few times, and they just out there kind of, and this seems to be an age where men are kind of like having that midlife crisis. So they're not really, some of them, I should say, are not really looking for marriage, and they'll tell you in a heartbeat, I'm good with seeing multiple people and da-da-da-da and all this. So it doesn't, that alone just lets you know that marriage is not what they're looking for, at least not in the way I view marriage as. It seems like there's more men that are, and more women also, that are accepting that polygamy type lifestyle. And it seems like the older you get, and I will agree that once you're in your 40s and 50s, it seems like you're more hesitant to think of marriage. You're thinking of, well, I've already been through that. I don't want to, I'm just going to be out here having a good time. So I think, no, I don't think all men are. I think a lot of men are not presenting themselves as husbands. They like being out there playing.
Nisha Williams.
I think a lot of men are not presenting themselves as husbands. And I think it's because they are followers. And if we're looking at, let's say, the last 2 years of content creators, we have a lot of content creators telling men, don't get married, don't get with a woman, don't get in a relationship, sleep with single mothers, but don't wife them. If you make a certain dollar amount, you can cheat. You are allowed to cheat. You are allowed to have as many women as you can afford. You are allowed to procreate with as many women as you can because you have money. So if I'm a woman and I see that, I don't really see a motivation to get married because one or two things going to happen. Either he's going to cheat and men are telling them, that's okay, keep cheating. That
Exactly.
a boy, keep on going.
Yeah,
You're doing great, Or you're going to have women in her ear saying, girl, you better keep them. It's all right to share. Just share your men. You're going to share them anyway. Just share them. So, and they're miserable. And they're you see them looking old and decrepit and sad and you seen them full of life with energy before they got married, and now they just like miserable and look like they're hungry and look like they just been through hell. No, they're not presenting themselves as marriage material, and marriages are not being presented in a light that makes single people go, damn, I want that. Right. Because a lot of us single people are just like, fuck that. That's all right. I'll just stay over here by myself. Okay. That's okay.
Right.
That's my thought.
Mr. Rona Martin, what are your thoughts?
Well, this is a conversation me and my brother had before the podcast started, and definitely appreciate you for bringing things to light. What you're seeing is like they're teaching you to hate the very thing that the opposition is valuing.
Yep.
You cut off the head, chaos ensues. They want you to celebrate being uncontrolled, dismiss your discernment, your leadership, a set of standards. Be out here and be easily controlled by the very superficial things out here. So while you're doing all that, we talked about things as far as like having a family. That's where you start acquiring wealth. When you start having and when you have a community, that's where you start acquiring power. They can't control communities like that. Because if your community is in order and you have something like a neighborhood watch or things that the basic necessities you need as far as like a hospital, stores, things of that nature, the police can't really go into there. They could be on the outskirts and you basically dispose of the trash and let them handle that. But now that you have broken families, everybody and everything can infiltrate, and you're seeing the damage being done to it. So now you're being assisted in genocide, in my personal opinion.
I mean, as far as my thoughts on it, a lot of guys are not showing up as husbands because they don't they don't really understand the concept of family or really care about it. You know, a lot of guys have let life and things that happen to them in life stop them from being who they were designed to be. And that's really the plan out here. And what I always tell guys is focus on being your own man first before you want to show up as a husband for a woman. Because your life is not about women. Your life is your life. Your life is not about you getting married. Your life is not about you having kids and doing none of that, because that's not for everybody. So a man has to design his own life before he then invites a woman into his life. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to ask a woman to marry me and to join me in a marriage and welcome her into chaos. And this is the problem. And this is why a lot of men are also reluctant to marry again, because they never lived their life for themselves. You don't live your life to get married to a woman. That's not why you exist. You have to develop your own way of life first, and then you bring a woman into that. Mm-hmm. That's what denotes leadership. You living your life to go get married, you're not the leader, she is. Because you don't even know if you really want to be married. Mm. You just like the sound of it because she wants it. And a lot of guys are not honest with themselves. This is why you got to design your own life first, fellas, before you talking about going to get a wife and starting a family. Have you develop your life, create a purpose for yourself. Because when you find the woman you want to marry and have a family, that's how you're going to feel fulfilled. You'll never be fulfilled if you don't fulfill yourself first. A wife cannot fulfill you. Mm-hmm. You fulfill you, just like a husband can't fulfill a woman. You can have the best nigga in the world and think he a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. Because of how you feel and how you interpret the situation. So, brothers, the reason why you're running from marriage is because you ain't done nothing for yourself. Make sure marriage is something you want first, then pursue it. If it's not something you want for you, stay away from it.
So, I just heard what you said, DS1 Ross. For women, shut up, Rona. For women, so women now know that men are not off the bat approaching them for marriage. So if you want to become married, what do you do?
Where do you go?
Let me answer the question because I didn't answer the question. DS1 kind of threw me off right there. I think presentation is very important. Mm-hmm. I think that if the men are the head, the leaders, the authority figures, the ones that control and govern the environment, if the environment is janky, then it's the fault of the men because they are supposed to be the protectors of the environment. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, like I said, presentation is very important. I think a lot of women would take men more serious if they presented themselves in a manner that they knew there was going to be some longevity, mm-hmm. i.e. marriage.
Absolutely.
So I have a question for the men. Are you saying that when men approach women, they're not approaching them for marriage? They are approaching them to possibly see if they can put their hot dog on their grill. Put their hot dog in the grill.
Oh, Lord.
I would say most guys are either looking for another mother to sleep with or he's trying to find someone as a mask to run from himself. Because if he's still busy chasing his meat, he hasn't found anything worth living for himself. He's running from accountability, responsibility, and it's just something to buy him time or just distract him from facing the business at hand, is fixing himself. So you guys are right. We have to create the culture of making marriage and even responsibility worthwhile. And there's too many individuals who are stuck in Never Never Land and blaming everybody else. But a lot of us are the key culprits out here. And we got to take ownership of that if we're going to change it.
Yes.
Hold up. Hold up.
Come on.
Let's say this. Let's go ahead and get this clear, because this is what we're not going to keep doing in 2023. We are not going to make men the standard for just wanting and chasing sex. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. That's what we're not going to do. We're not. Because for one, those buns be wide open for them sausages. Mm-hmm. So let's get that clear.
True that.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to say that men are just running around looking to fuck. Wrong. Because truth be told, a lot of guys who are looking for substance don't really be pressed on having sex with women nowadays. It be the women. So what's up with that? Mm-hmm. So what's up though? You playing games when I'm trying to get to know you. I ain't trying to get to know the back of your throat yet. So let's clear that up real quick. There's a lot of women out here pushing for sex immediately. It's not the men. But you know, it's always been, you know, well known that men are just chasing their penises. And somehow we always seem to continue to chase it, right? It's because it's getting met. Our needs are getting met. That's my point. So if it's a problem with guys just chasing sex, it's because sex is available before marriage. Sex is available before I get to meet your mama. Sex is available before I get to know who you really are. Sex is right there. Come get me. Hi, it's here, it's wet. Y'all not telling us to move away from it. Y'all not putting up other things so we don't pay attention to that. Majority of these women they're not taking you to no museum. We ain't going to learn nothing. We going to see what that dick do.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So if I'm a hot little thing and I see you and I want to have sex immediately,
Right.
as a man, do you tell me no? Let's slow down. I may not be here. Do you think the majority of men say, "Let's slow down"? I may not be here for a long time. If you're desiring to be married, I'm not the man for you. Does he? Is it more his responsibility to turn it down?
No, it's your responsibility to not offer, because men are carnal. We'll fuck somebody behind 7-Eleven.
So okay, because I don't like doing this, but I'm just gonna say it.
I love doing it. Let's go.
Fuck it. I bet you do. I bet you do.
He look like he do.
You
Let's
look
go.
like you do. Are the men in the Black community not leaders? Are y'all that weak that we run that much game on you? We can just talk you out your dick?
Look like
Not really.
So
Not really,
you
because a lot of y'all. Go ahead.
So you guys can't take dick off the table? You can't sit there and say, you know what? I respect you more than that. So although you throwing it at me, because she, as you call her, a hot thought, whatever you want to call it, although you throwing it at me, I respect you better than that. And I'm taking sex off the table because I would like to get to know you before I enter your body. Y'all can't do that?
Yes, we can.
I can. I've done it.
Done it times.
Remember, we're speaking in general.
But in general,
In general,
those
our
guys,
men are weak.
so.
They don't do that.
course.
They
no,
just
it's not weak. It's not weak. Use the correct term. Carnal.
Arnold.
So
Use the correct term.
So women are not carnal either?
Very.
No, y'all don't lead with carnality. We do.
Okay, so then since you're the leader and
Carnality.
and I'm trying to activate my carnal desires as you as the man, aren't you supposed to tell me no?
This is not a good
This
thing.
is not a good thing.
If I want to marry you, who said I want to marry everybody I fuck? Or every
Okay.
woman I come in contact with. So because you a woman and you might want to be married, I might supposed to say no? Nah, that don't work in the mind of a man. Don't work like that.
Okay, so
It's how you. It goes back to presentation, like you were saying, Mona. If you presenting yourself like you just coming to get thrashed, don't even consider marriage in your mind.
just consider thrashing.
Right. If you trying to fly some dick out,
Yeah.
just understand what this is.
It's just
And that's
thrashing.
all it's gonna be.
It's just an
'Cause that's
assignment.
because that's how you set it up.
You presented it that way.
Okay.
You presented it that way.
Yes.
You presented your vagina like it's in a snack machine.
It's coming down.
I get that. I get that.
I'm gonna
and
eat it and I'm gonna throw the wrapper away, and then I'm not gonna think about it no more.
I get that, and I hear you, and I agree with you on that part. But
want me to do?
again, I go back to, if you're supposed to be the leader, aren't
I'm
you
supposed to make you change your mind.
No, but you're supposed to be able to like make that decision to be like, nah, this is not what I'm doing.
This is where we get screwed up, because like this is
But-
where we're
Like,
talking about.
I mean, wait. I'm gonna just say this, and then you could go on it. I'm gonna just say this. Everybody, both men and women, and today, content creators from everybody that's telling Black women what to do, always say, "Come on, women, you gotta know your worth. Come on, women, love yourself. Come on, women, protect your womb. Come on, women, vet better. Vetting is key, right?" So. We know that, and we're being told that, but what are you guys being taught? Because if you supposed to be the leaders, if you supposed to run the communities, if you guys are supposed to be making the decisions, and we fall to your lead, right? You mean to tell me that you can't just be the same way you guys hold yourselves accountable? You can't tell us like, hey, no, that's not how you move. That's not what I'm about. Matter of fact, I like my dick better than I like you. I'm not giving you my dick. It's off the table. I want to get to know you. And if that's not what you about, bounce. Y'all can't do that?
This is the thing we talk about: dignity and discipline. Because number one, no one we're among the few who talk about STI screening.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hear that shit anywhere else.
That's
don't.
sad.
The other thing is you don't know who's carrying what nowadays. Especially they got things like super gonorrhea or some stuff you can't get rid of.
Mm.
So and having personal experience or having arguments about getting STI screening, that lets you know, because you're the gatekeeper of sex and I'm the gatekeeper of relationships. If you're leading with your labia, just like guys are leading with their wallet, most cases you already know what it is. You put yourself in a box, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I like you, okay, cool. We can build to that. Because if it's already established, why we got to argue that? We'll get to that part. I want to know who I'm talking to, who I'm dealing with. Because that little random thotty out there can give you something you can't get rid of. Mm. We've seen that now. Some guys are wiped off the table because of their dick. And there's some women out there who use that sex as a means to put a Band-Aid on her trauma, which we don't talk about either.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
So I'm not going to be your emotional tampon. If I see something's up, I need to see what's going on. Like, for real. Like, yeah, you might look the part, smell good, all that shit. But if your soul stink, I got to figure out what the hell is, what's going on.
Ooh, that's right.
So, are we saying that women have to control their vaginas and the man's dick as well?
Shoot.
No. Let me say this. What women, just like my brother just said, women are the gatekeepers to sex.
Mm-hmm.
Men are the gatekeepers to relationships.
Mm.
Okay? So you do dictate what dick go in there and how many go in there.
Mm.
At what rate they go in there at.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the man. No matter how carnal I may be, if you let me come up in there, that's on you. And we need women to start accepting that. That's on you. No matter how carnal or less carnal I am, you are the gatekeeper to sex. I'm the gatekeeper to relationships. So I determine whether, if after we have sex, if I should fuck with you or not. But it's up to you to let me have sex with you.
So you're saying that it takes sex for you to find out if you're going to fuck with me?
No, well, with the I have to know, not just by the conversation, how you carry yourself, how you move. We said this before. You can fuck anybody, but you have to give that man reasons to fuck with you. It's a whole different situation, because the sex, that only enhances it if you guys are solid with each other. If it's just a random old, well, just treat it like a bologna sandwich, then it's not going to mean anything. Even if it feels good, it's not going to mean nothing. There's got to be something behind that, because sex is a very powerful tool. It can build and it can corrupt people, as you can see it.
It's destroyed nations.
Yeah.
What if it's a fried bologna sandwich with cheese?
Oh,
Here we go with this shit.
Well, hey.
Put some cheese on, we good.
I know how to make those sandwiches real well.
Yeah, I bet you do. Check it out. Okay, so here's my thing. We keep on hearing that men are logical.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep on hearing that they are the leaders and they want women to submit, and they are the providers and the protectors, and they procreate, and they do a lot of other things. And we hear that women are the chaotic ones. We are the ones that need direction. We are the ones that need discipline. We are the ones that need, like Adrian said, guidance. Why would we reduce this to the chaotic ones? What I'm asking is, why would you say the chaotic ones have the propensity to say, your dick can't come in here?
Yeah, exactly. We've given you this position to guide us.
Well, the guys, we talking about the 4 Ps, talking about protect, provide, problem solve, and procreate. You got to master those things for yourself. You have to show them things beyond yourself. that sets the guidelines right there, the boundaries, what you can and cannot do, how people can treat you and how they can't. If she doesn't see that you have control of yourself, she gonna do what she gonna do because you allow that. So yes, ass might be jiggling and everything, but are those 4 P's at the forefront of your mind or decisions? Even though, look, there's adversity right there. Do you want it right now, instant gratification, or you think about the long run? If she's really solid, like, okay, I'm gonna get to that, but there might be much more to her. Because some chicks are just like empty calories. Just it was a nice snack, but
Empty calories.
now I got cavities. Now what?
Wait a minute, bro.
Damn.
I'm getting the vibe. I'm getting this vibe of black women like to get yoked up to be told what to do.
Yeah, they do.
What's yoked
Because-
up?
What's yoked up?
What's yoked up?
Wait, what's yoked up?
What's yoked up, DS1?
Take your time.
Yeah, take your time.
I don't want to be too
Just
you know,
take
because
your
this is a clean
time
show.
with it.
I don't want to be too you know.
I want
But
you to be DS1. Come on with it.
basically what
Okay.
these women have just expressed is that they're so out of control, bro,
Mhm.
that they need us to walk up on them
Mhm.
and look at them and say, listen, you gonna stop what the fuck you doing.
Mhm.
Because it's a problem. This is what they just said, because they're saying that they're not in control or adult enough
Mhm.
to make sound decisions.
Sound like it.
Because what do we always hear? The general statement, who gonna check me, Papu?
Who still say that? Don't nobody say
Okay.
that shit.
No.
That's from a movie. That's from a
That-
movie. Cut that shit out.
But that's-
Don't do that.
But that is a sign of what? Chaos.
Yeah.
No one can stop me. So if we have to stop you, how then do we stop you? I'm not your daddy.
And the main thing about
Remember? Can't
and
nobody tell me what to do.
here's the thing about
Okay.
what it says too. Like, the main thing about protection is prevention. So if I can't tell
gotta
you
call
anything,
it.
how can I effectively protect you from yourself?
We got to
Yeah.
call it.
Bingo.
It's not on your phone. They called the number.
Excuse me, this our first line.
We got our first live.
We have our
and
first
we got
call.
a caller.
We got to put that down in the record books.
So we're going to come back to that. But we
Hold
want to
your
take
thought,
our
DS1.
we want to take our first caller ever.
Welcome, caller. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Jay Sean, by the way, of Brooklyn.
Hi, Jay Sean.
Salute to DS1, salute to Ronan, brothers, and salute to the beautiful Mona,
Thank
known
you.
you since back in the Jason days.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
so,
had a question or a comment for us, sweetie?
Well, I just had a real quick question. I just wanted to say this. Look, I appreciate the sister's question regarding, a woman's chastity and men's leadership. But my grandmother's turning her grave right now, the thought of it. All right? Men are not responsible for women's chastity. We're not responsible for women's womanhood. We're responsible for manhood and the overall control of the community. What happens one-on-one between her and a man and a dude and who she picks to open her legs to is solely her decision. If it's not her decision, then she has zero power in life. I have a daughter, and I would never tell her she has no choice or no decisions to make when it comes to who she lays down with. It's one of the most important decisions she can make in her life. So I would never divorce a woman from that choice. That's taking power from a woman if you really want to go that route. So we're not responsible for women's chastity, and we're not responsible for womanhood. I'm responsible for manhood. Now, when y'all have a conversation about men not paying bills, not taking care of their women, not taking care of kids, then holler at me.
Okay, stay right there.
Yes.
Because I'm the one that you're speaking on. So I'm going to respond to that. You're correct. Women are responsible for our chastity. We are responsible for our bodies. We are also responsible for whom we allow to enter our bodies. That is 100% correct. What I was speaking on earlier was saying that we have men today that are encouraging men not to be in committed relationships, We have men today that are encouraging men not to get married. We have men encouraging men to cheat, to lie, to do whatever it takes to get the cookie and keep moving, because all it's about is the money and quote unquote the power and all the get as many women as you can. And then you have some women who are quote unquote naive, who believe everything that some men are saying, who are running game on women, dancing circles around women that they believe are actual leaders who have their best interests at heart. Now, yeah, is it on the mothers and fathers in that said woman's life to teach them about how to protect their bodies and make the right decisions about when it comes to their bodies? Absolutely. Absolutely. But at the same time, my question earlier was about, because we were speaking on hot thoughts and we were speaking on men having sex with anyone that will throw whatever at them, is at what point do you say, my dick is worth more than this? I don't want to put my dick on the table. I want to get to know you before I enter you. That's kind of where my question was coming at. So,
and I got that. And sister, I hear you. And there is a responsibility for a man to, I'm always telling dudes to pick their spots. Watch where you put your games, because it's also a serious decision for him. You get text to the wrong woman, putting aside the STD situation that Ronan was speaking to earlier, and STDs.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get the wrong woman pregnant, now you're up in court crying about child support and all that stuff. So it's business. But when the way you phrase it, sister, and I got to say this way, you phrase it as a form of chastity. Why can't he take his penis off the table? First of all, her legs are not supposed to be wide open. And for me to take my penis on the table, that's what I'm saying. Your job as a woman is to protect that womb and decide what grows in that womb. Mm-hmm. That is the most serious decision that a woman has to make in her life. And we all know mm-hmm. that women are going through it right now with single mother. It's not easy. You know what I mean? This is a serious decision. Mm-hmm. Then you got the STD situation for her as well. Women have, a lot of STD problems, and I would hate to see sisters going through that kind of stuff, because it's not something that, you can go through. Herpes is at an all-time high. A man just talked about gonorrhea. You can't get it rid of. There's some real scary stuff out there. So this whole, city girl reality that we're in right now, that we're going to put it back on men, when men, and I'll close on this. I don't want to hog the mic. I'll close on this point. Men have always been the same since the beginning of time. Since men have been on the planet for 1 million years, we hit anything. All right? We hit anything, anytime. It's a carnal thing with us. What changed? What changed was women's freedom. What changed was women's sexual freedom. And what came along with that was a lack of responsibility for their body. Look, you can have sex with who you want to have sex with, but pick your spots, sister. Be safe. Protect mm-hmm. yourself. Do certain things as you do it. And then, and go slow. There was a song by Prince called Little Red Corvette. Slow down. Mm. And that's not what's happening out here right now. You got a lot of fast women out here living like men. And then now you're telling the men that we got to now think for the woman and protect her chastity. And I disagree with that.
No. I'm not telling men to think for the women. I'm just saying make better. There's a lot of men that I've had discussions with that have children by multiple women that they knew from the gate they didn't want a relationship with. They didn't see marriage with, but they still went in there and nutted in her. They nutted in her. Now, granted, I agree with you. A woman's, what she allows in her body, that's her choice. I'm in agreement with you. She should definitely make sure she is protected and she does not allow that to happen. However, that man, once that grown adult knows that he wants nothing to do with that woman except possibly sex, there's no way he should be entering her unprotected. Mm-mm. He should be responsible for his own penis. I should not be responsible for his penis and my vagina, knowing that because to me, and I'm just, I might be a little biased because I'm a woman. To me, a lot of women that go into that, a lot of times in their mind think, we're more than just friends. We're more than a buddy. We're possibly more, they see more of it. But if as the man who's supposed to be the leader in the community, if when you're entering this woman, I don't really like her. I don't really know her. I don't see marriage material with her. I don't even want to wipe her. Matter of fact, the only thing I like about her is what's in between her legs. There's no reason why you the leader, the one who's supposed to be the logical one, should be entering her unprotected. That's just all I'm saying.
No, what I'm saying is this. So let's talk dog talk. I'm not a dog. I'm a reformed.
No, you're a
Ray.
man. You're not a dog
I'm
at
a
all.
reformed
You're not
Ray
an
Ray.
animal.
I'm just being honest. I used to be a Ray Ray. I'm a reformed Ray Ray. And I can speak to that. And I can speak to this a little bit, but I don't, like I said, I want the brothers to get back on here, and I want y'all to finish saying what you're saying. But sister, I just got to push back. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
What I want to do with my penis is my business. What you allow me to do, what you allow to happen, come in your body, is completely your business. That is your sacred decision as a woman. Period. That is not my call. If I come up to you and I like the way you look, like I'm looking at you right now. If I saw you at a lounge, I'm going to holler at you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you.
Mm-hmm.
But if the conversation is flowing and we get along and everything is good and I can see your back arching and, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, you like the brother. You know what I mean? So, I'm going in. And if you let me in, that's it. But you can't sit there and say that, well, I'm the leader of the community. No, you're holding the men to a higher standard that they've never lived up to. No man, black, white, yellow, red, has lived up to that standard ever.
This is where we'll disagree.
Since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? So, but the only what's changed is the women. My grandmother would never just let anybody in between her legs. You couldn't just you couldn't just hit one of my aunts, one of her sisters. You couldn't do that. Those women have been married, and my cousins and their daughters have been married for 40, 50 years. They're old Southern women.
Mm-hmm.
Something changed with the culture, and now women are not doing their job. And if you're going to be free with it, then take everything that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever look back at men when you allow somebody to come in. Because the only thing I want to hear is when it comes to men in that regard is rape.
So basically,
I want to hear.
So basically, what I hear you saying, and I want the women to listen very carefully, because that's why I say some things we need the men on to correct us and give us some clarity. So what I basically hear you saying, ladies, listen very carefully, because they're saying this. You opening up your legs to a man that is not your husband, raw and unprotected or protected, you are not special in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's our hold on, if it's our responsibility, ladies, you're gonna have to keep your legs closed.
Keep them closed.
You're gonna have to get that man to marry you. You are going to have to clink it up.
Shut it down.
Shut it down, sweetie. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna hop off, Mona.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you for being our first caller.
I just want to say, Mona, I love you, sister. You've been in the game for a minute. I want to give you your flowers.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
I wish I would have met you when I was younger. You know what I mean?
Well, how old are you? No. No, thank you so much.
Back in the day, I had issues with respecting women, but if I had met a woman like you, it would have changed my life. You know what I mean? So I appreciate this like you. I want this like you to know that y'all making a difference.
Thank you so much. I know you over here trying to make me cry, but I ain't no punk. So thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Call again. We appreciate. Happy New Year's to you. Let's bring the men back, please, yes. Felicia. So I guess we got a little straightening, huh?
Okay. He put you in check.
What y'all got?
What you got, DS1?
I would say when it comes to relationships, you have to build something. That's why communication is important. Most people aren't talking effectively to each other. It's like, hey, what that dick do? What that mouth do? It's got to be much more than that. Mm-hmm. You got to see where you guys are lining up. Where are we going with this? You got to see tangible evidence that you're going forward somewhere, not just someone blowing smoke up your ass. Mm-hmm. That's just not enough. If your actions, words, and intent don't work in concert, well, I said it's all bullshit. So if you value your time, you value your, everything that's about you. You gotta, that man has to be on about his word, and that woman has to be about her worth, not just old Dollar Tree taco. She can't be doing that.
DS1.
I mean, I totally agree. I totally agree. At the end of the day, you got to give a man something to fuck with. You got to give me a reason to want to fuck with you. You got to have something going on. You got to have, you have to be interesting. Like, what is it to you? Like, if we're around each other, mm-hmm. and the first thing come out your mouth is, I'm bored, then you're just worth a nut. Because you're not interesting. You know why? Because you're not interesting to yourself. You don't really have a personality. You don't really have nothing going. So after I bust this nut and go drink some Kool-Aid and you go clean off, I'm a one to see what's on TV. And then you gonna go pick up your phone and go in the other room. And that be a lot of these relationships today.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it ain't based on nothing.
No substance.
Nobody's getting to know each other. Nobody has a reason to fuck with each other outside of fucking. That's the highlight of the relationship. When we nut. Other than that, what's going on? Nothing. The rent, the bills. I did a show about this the other day. It's called Why Are We Getting in Relationships? Convenience or Connection? People are not making a connection. People are getting with each other out of convenience. Oh, she got a fat ass. Oh, he could fuck me right. Oh, he got money. He could pay all my bills. Oh, he could help me save on this. Oh, I ain't got to drive my car no more to work. Then you find out who the nigga really is, the type of person he really is. Even though he helping you save on your bills and you could keep your car in your garage, he's still a piece of shit. But you got with him out of convenience because you thought he was a good man because, oh, he make this amount a year and I could save my money and we could go on girls' trips. He's still a piece of shit, though. This is what's going on today. People are getting with each other out of convenience. Oh, she on welfare, she get food stamps in Section 8, so I ain't got to never buy no house. This is what niggas are doing. I ain't never got to buy her no house because I just get with a chick with Section 8. She got her own house already. What I'm buying you a house for? Convenience. Bunch of bum shit.
And
that's really what it be. And bums love to have sex.
And I'm glad my brother said that's one thing I want to add to. It's like, have you ever had a guy ask you, what do you love and do for yourself? What are your gifts? Like, what are you interested in? Because some women, they have abilities, gifts. If they have a passion, if he got love for you, he said, pursue that. He'll see the best part of you coming out of that. I mean, yeah, besides the sex, that's one thing. What else do you have? Because one of the best compliments a guy could have is his homeboy sitting there talking and say, look, man, you got a good girl. I want a chick like that. If I can only get a chick like that one, you're like, you lucked out. They understand why you rushed the fuck home. And that's the difference between a house and a home. Because some people live in these relationships and they're haunting a house or they're laying up against some ghost. They there out of convenience. He got a good job, but do y'all have a good rapport with each other? Or are y'all just two ships passing in the night? Like, oh, well, fuck you too. Until y'all go fucking.
Just two people coexisting because y'all don't both want to be grown-ups and pay all your own fucking bills on your own. So y'all come together and act like y'all love each other. This is the majority of relationships today. And in the midst of all that, y'all done had 4, 5 kids. Y'all done tried to get married 2, 3 times, and the shit didn't work. And that's what it be. And then y'all be wondering why it didn't work. It's because the premise of y'all relationship was never a connection. A connection was never established.
So
it's all about convenience.
Okay. So let's take it back when love was new. Have you ever experienced children playing house, or have you ever played house with your cousins? Yes or no?
Yeah, when I was younger, yeah.
Have you ever seen kids playing house?
They don't, no.
Okay, so let me take it back. Because I watched one of my ex's little girls and my nephew, who was 6 years old, she was 5 years old, they were playing house. I was like, this is going to be interesting because she initiated, let's play house. Oh. So she went out onto the patio and she got all her little things together, and she had her kitchen and she had the bedroom and she had the babies and she asked for a pillow and a blanket. And I'm like, okay. And my little cousin, my nephew, he's green, so he don't know what's going on. So I say, let me sit in the cut.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can see what she about to do. So she said, knock on the door. No, she said, come in. And he came in and she said, good morning. And he said, good morning. And she said, are you hungry? And he said, yeah. And she said, okay, I'm going to fix you some breakfast. So have a seat right here. And so he had a seat. And then she was like, oh my goodness, the babies are crying. You know, and she ran and she got the baby and he ate the food. And she said, okay, it's time for you to go to work. And he said, okay. And she gave him his coat, and I said, okay, let me see if she's going to try to sneak a kiss, right? Well, she didn't sneak a kiss. She gave him a hug. So then he left out the door, and she said, okay, it's time to come home from work, right? So he came in through the door, and he's like, I'm the man. I'm home from work, right? And she was like, did you have a good day? And he was like, yes. So then she said, okay, it's time to take off all our clothes, and we're going to go to bed, right? So I'm like, hey. So I walked in and I'm like, hey, let's play something else, right? Okay, my question, and I need the men back on the screen as soon as possible. When you are playing house, what's the role that the little girls and the little boys fight to have?
They fight to have?
Don't they fight to have they want to be the mama or the daddy?
Of course.
Yeah.
And why do they want to be the mommy or the daddy? Because that's a very important role to them, right? And normally when children play house, what do? They imitate whatever they see in their environment and whatever they see in their house, right? Okay, work with me because I'm going somewhere. Now, next, we go to puppy love. And our first boyfriend and our first girlfriend, and we have tunnel vision. There's fine women on campus, there's fine men on campus, but we don't see anybody but each other. So much, we're hugged up so much that people are saying, get a room. You know?
Oh, right.
We love on each other, we care about each other. We take care of each other. Everything is okay. Both of us is broke as hell. We're getting allowance from our parents. We share with each other. Fast forward till when we couldn't wait to become adults. And now we're grown. And now when we get in relationships with one another, we have all this bullshit that has to go with us being honest and genuine and loving to one another. What happens?
You want to know what happened?
Yes, sir.
What happened was people start going outside and watching TV and trying to live everybody else's life instead of trying to live their own. Instead of connecting with who they connecting with, they started questioning if the connection was real and started looking for convenience. You know, well, if you really love me, you'll make more money. That's convenience. Love ain't got shit to do with me making more money for you. What are you talking about? That's like me telling you, if you love me, you'll get a big ass. You see that? See what happens when we start listening to the shit that we say and find out how toxic it be. And then we live on this type of shit. Well, if you really love me, you'll make sure I have a new car. What? What? So you really with that man because he could get you a new car when he wants. You really not with him for him. See, it's convenience. And this is what destroyed relationships, period. Microwave society. Everybody wants everything to be instant. If your man is your man, soon as you got a problem, he got to solve it. He's not a fucking magician. Soon as something pop up and it's wrong, he got to be there to fix it. That's not life. You're looking for convenience. That's what you're looking for. This is what even men are looking for the same thing. They're looking for convenience. Fake ass, fake hair, fake nails, microwave, convenience. Because you don't want to be with a woman. You don't want to be with a woman and you actually see her hair grow because you ain't never been with a woman that long enough. You ain't never been in a relationship and saw a woman go through stages in her life. because you're looking for convenience, because you never established a connection with a woman. And this is the problem. This is the real problem. Everybody's looking for convenience. Who has the bag so I don't have to work? That's what all the bag shit is about. Because motherfuckers want to be lazy. You want a nigga with a bag so you can lay on your ass and take dick all day. That's why you want them to have the bag. So you can hire maids so you don't have to clean. You can hire chefs so you don't have to cook. It's all laziness. This is what society, this is what this white patriarchal society has created. It has created everyone to be a reflection of the white man, a lazy bum. The first deadbeat dad. Now the whole society wants to be deadbeats. Women don't want to cook no more. They don't want to clean their house. So they want men to make more money so they don't have to. Men want women to go get fake asses and fake breasts and fake faces so they don't have to tell a woman they really not attracted to them.
Can we answer why this is happening? The gentleman that called in earlier, he was saying back in his grandmother's days, and I would say back in my day, there were certain things that happened. If a man had sex with a woman and she became pregnant, he automatically married her. We're seeing that now that's not happening. So how did we get here?
You got to remove the leadership out of the conversation. As far as the women, you had a standard. They let it be known you can't be out here doing all this goofy stuff. Them little bottom of the barrel hoes, they were on the other side of town, or they were ostracized. When you took shame off the table, this is the shit you see today. They do a lot of shameless shit. And it's sad nowadays, you got guys who have to teach women how to wash their ass, which there's something they should be taking care of. And I mentioned it before, but it's still going on. Same thing with the guys, there was codes of conduct. When certain things going on, even the most rowdiest gangster, you didn't go against women and children. Now you take that away, it's a free-for-all.
Exactly.
Then you add in the element of people looking for instant gratification. They're trying to find validity on external stuff, not the internal. They don't talk to each other. They talk at each other, about each other, around each other. They don't build anything of substance, especially with themselves. And they find instant gratification on likes. They will sell their ass for a like rather than be with the person who genuinely likes them for them. That's where it went all the shit. And until we have those honest conversations with actually a healthy relationship with ourselves, can't teach other people how to treat us the right way and accept it. It takes one person at a time, one couple at a time, one family at a time, and build from there. But too many people are too busy running from themselves and making excuses. Meanwhile, they're getting older, worse. They don't know how to relate to people. They just go on a bullshit script on social media or even these bullshit shows. And no one's been around a woman long enough to even see her go through the big chop. And I've been through several of them, which I know that could be a trying emotional situation, or you get guys who go through a midlife crisis. I mean, and the thing is, like, they don't even appreciate. We get in this mindset where we treat each other like we're disposable.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's what we're fucked up.
And that is due to American culture, Western culture. Westernized culture is how we treat each other, because that is how Western culture is designed. That is how this whole corporate makeup is created. It is created as garbage in, garbage out. You just a worker. When you die, another person will come in and take your desk, and you'll be thrown somewhere in a graveyard.
Right.
You're worthless. You mean nothing. You're disposable. And we've allowed this culture to influence us to treat each other like this. Because the people who run these corporations, we are captured by their lifestyle. And their lifestyle is garbage in, garbage out. Their lifestyle is everyone is disposable. So we've adopted that mentality. And the way that we justify it is by saying, I got more money than you, so you don't need to be around me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it did. That mentality translate into relationships. If you ain't got enough money for me, you don't need to be in my face, nigga. If 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 you are not freaky enough, you don't need to be with me. I need you to be nasty. I need you to be nasty, and I need you to be a borderline prostitute, because that's what America and Western culture is about: prostitution. Prostitution and simping. So black men have to be simps and black women have to be hoes.
The infamous Trick and
So
John.
why you think I call them Jonathans?
Yeah.
A John at hand, a man who walks in the room with a wallet. Here you go. And then you exchange that money for your vagina. And this is the convenience that Western culture has provided the world. That's why they created microwaves and Wi-Fi, and it's convenience. And we start treating each other like convenient store products.
So does single parenthood play a big role in this divide and this not wanting to be married and all of this foolery that we see going on?
No, single parenthood is a result of it.
Correct.
It's a result. It's an effect of it. Because a lot of women are saying that it's more convenient to be a single mother. I get more benefits.
Yeah.
Because if I keep you in a house, nigga, they ain't gonna give me this free money every month. They ain't gonna give me Section 8.
Okay, but I'm speaking.
I'm gonna have to tell them the truth about everything.
I'm speaking in regards of relationships for the children, single parenthood. I'll give you an example. If I'm a single parent and I was with a man and everything was going great and we were having all the raw, natural, freaky sex that we could have unprotected, and I discover one day that I don't have a menstrual cycle and I take that test and it comes up pregnant and I say that I'm pregnant and he says by who, and we go back and forth, and then it seems like it's going good. I'm pregnant and we deliver the baby and we're taking pictures and he's passing out cigars. It's a girl, it's a boy. And then somewhere in between that or after that, she keeps the baby and he keeps stepping. So now we're going to fast forward. I have 2 children. If a woman has children, a male and a female, in the home by herself, those children, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, will never get to see her fully rest in her femininity.
Agreed.
Okay. Because she's going to have to become something that she's not normally, and that's illogical.
It's out of the.
So she's supposed to be emotional. So she's going to have to pull back some of those emotions, some of those natural, soft attributes, especially when a boy is in the house, and be more logical. So, like I said, the boy nor the girl has seen their mother fully rest in their femininity. And 9 times out of 10, we're going to keep it a buck today. When women's children see them in their femininity, it's normally when they're going on a date, they're going out with the girls, or a man is coming through. Am I lying?
That's so true.
Yeah.
No, that's
Okay.
true.
So the house smells good and mama smells good and the food smells good. So how does that program a little girl?
It doesn't if you're not having the right questions and you're not teaching her that. It doesn't, because there's always going to be that balance is missing. You don't have the man in the house, and you don't have, or in some cases, you don't have the woman in the house. So that, because as long as that balance is shifted, where it's not on equal footing, you're not going to see that. And there is going to be key information missing, which again, you're going to see the hard daughter because the mom's going to be hard as fuck on the daughter. And you're going to see the soft ass son because mom goes easy on the son. She tells him he's her little man now. He's her king. So you're not going to see that balance, and you're not going to see her rest in her femininity. You're going to see her actually become sometimes hard because she feels that she has to be hard to be, quote unquote, that father figure to the son when the father's not there. And she's also being hard towards the daughter because I can't even give you a reason why some moms are hard on their daughters, but she does. So you won't see it a lot of times.
Okay, so let me say this. The daughter is either going to be hard. The daughter is either going to be like, F this, I'm going to get married before I have children because ain't nobody just going to leave me with all these children.
Absolutely.
The daughter is going to start having vitriol for men because she never seen a man stay in the household. Or the daughter is going to say, every time mama is happy, she, oh, yeah, there, right there. So she's going to think for her to get a man, her vagina got to be better than her mama's vagina because that's the only time she sees men stay. So she thinks if she's more sexual that she can get a man to stay. When you flip it on the little boy side, and I'm going to come to you, gentlemen, I'm going to give you my perception of it, and you can correct me if you choose to because I have a son. The son is going to be soft. The son is going to be emotional. The son is, if he's never seen his mother rest in her femininity and he's never seen a man by his programming treat his mother right, he's going to try to treat the women extra right. That's how he turns into a simp.
Yes.
And, what they call a simp, right? He
A
wants
simp or an angry male. Don't forget that too.
wait, let me finish with my definition. He's going to turn, if he's going to be soft on the women, he's going to not rest in his masculinity. He's going to be soft, and yes, he's going to be a honeydew. Anything you say, because he's seen his mother never get that treatment, so he's going to try to give it to women, possibly non-deserving women, but he's going to do it. Or he's going to have vitriol against his mother because he's lived a hard life. You ain't gonna blame it on the daddy that's not here. But because I had a hard life because mama didn't choose the right man, not gonna say that the daddy is fucked up, but there's no man in the house, he's gonna have some vitriol. He may become your player, or he's going to get married and do the right thing, or he's only seen his mama in there, yeah, hit it, daddy, So he's going to think that all he needs to do is bring some great dick.
Exactly.
So what we have here is generational dysfunction from the men and the women. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
It's a lot. You're not wrong for those different directions. And again, it's like we got 5 minutes. We often disrespect the children's space in most cases. We're worried about our self-serving needs. We always hear this nonsense about stay in a child's place. A child is learning by what they see and what you do, what you say. And allowing numerous men and women to come in the house, that is setting the precedent. This is where my value is. And we don't take into account the psychological trauma we put on these children when we bring the element of sex carelessly in front of them when they're not prepared to see that or hear it. So many of those scenarios, they do happen. And you do have those young men or young women who grow with resentment because they know their mama's even get smashed out or dad's just out there just doing whatever. And they carve their own path. Or some just go to the complete extreme, like, you know what? Let me try the other side, which we're not supposed to talk about, but hey, I'm going to say it. But in general, I say it before I pass on my brother, it's like when it comes to it, if we're going to move as adults, we got to have a level of respect for the children. In my mind, it's like if I'm dating someone with a child, I make it a point to not at least, make it at least a year before I even deal with a child like that. Because I want to make sure I have something solid with the mother first. If anything. We're talking about young children. Now, if it's older, that's something slightly different, but still out of respect for that person because, yeah, they're still a mother, but then, like, you don't want to set a bad tone just because you want to just sit there and smash up in the house or whatever. There has to be a level of respect for the children, too. That's my opinion.
I think what we gotta understand is the children or the next generation is always going to be impacted what we're doing now.
Facts.
This is the purpose of men having foresight.
Yeah.
Because what we do and say now will affect the future. So as men, and this is something that me and my brother always speak about on our podcast, that you got to put your foresight over your foreskin. You have to stop judging who you are as a man and quantifying yourself as a man based on your sexual capability. You know, you're more than that, because at the end of the day, you want your legacy to mean more. You see, and if us as men don't start making those decisions, we're going to be the ones left holding the bag at the end of the day. It's going to be left on us anyway. So, fellas, we can't sit here and say we're leaders, but then try to escape responsibility. We're not responsible for women being women. We're responsible for men being men. So no matter what they do, if we still doing what we doing, which is incorrect, it doesn't matter. And that's what we got to understand as men, that we got to set the precedent. And sometimes that's doing shit that, you know, these women may not be happy about at that time. But they'll get over it. Because when they see in the long run that it actually benefited them, you see? So what we got to stop doing too as men is stop being afraid to tell a woman no.
That's right.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's my favorite word. I say that shit quick. Just joking too. No. Are you telling me no? Look how you acting. I was just joking with you. Look at your spoiled ass. See that? See that? See, it's that easy, fellas.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just say no and watch how she react.
That's how we move.
Okay.
And you're absolutely correct, DS1,
You know?
because that's how I was raised. My father, I would say, "Daddy, nope," and I think that would it would make me cry. It would hurt my feelings. I would have to go read the Bible, because I would say if I see him in the alleyway, I'm gonna run him over. But yeah, everything that I asked my dad, he was straight no. So you had to have the courage to keep on talking and keep on asking for what you wanted. And I think at the end of the day, women probably will never admit it, but women like a man that's firm. Let me say this. I got to say this. So if there, hold on, because let me go there. If there is no male figure in the household, as far as single parents are concerned, when a woman does meet a man, because she's never seen men on a permanent basis coming in and out of her mother's house. When a woman runs across a man, the first thing she calls him, mean, bully, misogynistic, male chauvinist, controlling, and abusive, because she's never had a man that's firm. She's never had a man say no. When they hear some extra bass in a man's voice, oh my God, he's
yelling.
the scariest thing on earth.
Right.
So you're absolutely correct. We will never say it. We want our men to be firm with us. We want our men to tell us no if it's for our best interest. We want you to take the lead. We want you to say, nah, you can't have no dick tonight because I told you to wash them dishes and you didn't. Look at Adrian. Yes, we want you. Yes,
punish
yes,
me with the
yes.
dick. Don't
Yeah,
do
she
that.
want. We want it. We want the correction in a loving manner, not because you're a man. We want it. We're never going to say it, but we do. That's how we distinguish men from women. We want to come lay our heads on your shoulders and you solve the problem. We want you to tell us that we out of line if we want to be your women, if we want to progress, if we want to, like Tracy say, DS1 says we going up.
Right.
We want it. And that's all we're asking you. And I think, like I said, presentation matters as far as you getting the cooperation that you need, you getting the submission that you need. If women can find out if a man doesn't have a plan for himself, he's not going to have a plan for her. So I find it very strange that we can get on these social media platforms and talk shit about each other back and forth. But what we cannot do and what we will not do is take our man and sit him at the table and say, this is what I don't like. He say, this is what I don't like. Let me take it even further. We all fucked up in America. We all got some trauma. We all got some baggage. So if I like Ronan, I'm going to say, Ronan, I'm messed up. Ronan going to say, Mona, I'm messed up. I'm going to ask Ronan why he messed up. He going to tell me. I'm going to listen and I'm going to comprehend. He's going to ask me why I messed up. I'm going to tell him. He's going to listen and we're going to comprehend. Now, he might have the solution to my messed upness. I may have the solution to his. But here's the thing that we do as black people. Once I find out, oh, I got a whole lot of baggage over here. But once I find out he got some shit that I don't like, oh, he's out of here. I ain't even disclosed my shit, but I don't even have the empathy or the compassion to say, damn, well, shit, that ain't even as much as my shit. I might could work with him. That's what we're not doing. And we need to do that. And I think that would eliminate a lot of our problems with we're saying people are liars and manipulators. I got to ask this question because we're about to wrap it up in about 25 minutes. If marriage is not the goal, what is the goal between men and women?
Wait, before we get to that question, I mean, let's touch on what you just said.
Okay, you can touch on it.
Because you just dropped a whole lot of stuff, Mona. It's like shit.
Okay, hold on. You can touch on it, but that's going to be our final question when everybody goes around and says what they have to say. If marriage is not the goal, what is the goal? Go ahead and touch on what I said, Nisha.
Okay, so I agree with you that a lot of us do that. Like we judge each other by our baggage. I do agree. And this is why I've been saying for this year that we have to start be mindful of what we say and be mindful of how we treat others. Like if we sitting there saying what we want out of a mate, but we don't even have that to bring to the table ourselves, we shouldn't be saying that because we're being hypocrites. We're being fake, right? So when we sit there and say we want somebody to be consistent, we want somebody to be loyal, but we're not being loyal and consistent with ourselves, how can we then expect that from our mate, right? So like I think that I agree. When we get to that place or that point where we can have a discussion, man and woman, about whatever it is, my dislikes, my issues, the things that I'm working on, my purpose, and he sits to the table and he's saying that too, we should get to a point of solution on how we can come together and make it happen. But that's not happening. A lot of us are looking at each other as an op. We looking at what we can use against each other. We carrying whatever information he share or she share and saving it for a rainy day to sit there and throw it up in her face or his face on social media, on public platforms, to our friends, to any and everybody that would listen. We're not coming together as a unit. We're not trying to build together. We're not trying to uplift one another. We're not trying to improve our situations. We're fighting like an op. We're literally looking at each other as ops. And that's something that we have to work on. So I completely agree with you.
I do too. I think there's a level of brokenness that sometimes we both come to the table with. And we have to be willing to have those discussions about it and not judge or throw it in one another's face. However, I do think in learning that other person's brokenness, when you're, if you find, there's some things that are just a deal breaker. You know, for me, if you only been clean and sober for 12 days and that's one of your issues that you have, I may look at that different than pursuing a relationship with. But as far as us, I come from a situation and he comes from a situation and we come together and try to work that thing out, I think that's a good thing. But like you said, we use it later to throw up when we arguing and, yeah, your mama was a this or you came from, and it's just a horrible place to be. We have to remember, too, that our children who are watching, especially in these single households, they're like sponges. They're absorbing and they mimic everything they see. We got to remember, we got to give them healthy things to look at and healthy things to mimic, because that is what is happening. And that's why some of our boys are passive and soft, because you've had to be hard, but and they don't want a woman that's going to be so hard, or either they go to a different race or they go to, it's so many different things that come from being that single mother and dealing with brokenness and relationships, and we just have to be mindful of what we're allowing these kids to see.
And two, it's also that if when men get with women and they've seen their single mothers, and it's not just single mothers, it's two-parent households too.
Sure.
We're seeing a lot of people broken that are 30 and 40 and 50 years old saying that they came up from messed up households. The mother wasn't nothing or the
Right.
father wasn't nothing. So we're just going to say it's all of it. But the young men, if they've seen their mother do a lot in all of it, then they're looking for a woman that does a lot in all of it.
Exactly.
They can't understand, well, hell, my mama didn't falter. She didn't shake. She made shit
made
crack.
it
She
happen.
made it happen.
Exactly.
What's wrong with you? Because he didn't get to see his mother rest in her femininity.
Yeah, that
So,
part.
yeah,
That part.
men, what you got?
Good, bro.
I say like understand like when you guys are having relationships, you need to have those uncomfortable conversations. Oh, you'll be comfortable throwing your dick away. Because when we're in a relationship, we're gonna come in broken. We're gonna come in with our own respective issues, but that's why we put everything on the table, so that way we have a reference point of where we can move from, what we're not going to repeat. Because some of that stuff's generational, something is social, some of that stuff's internal. But you have to understand too, I should not have to fight for you more than you want to fight for yourself.
Facts.
True.
Because I mean, we're not gathering to get. I mean, as my brother said, like it's not my fault, but it is our problem. If we're gonna have a relationship, we're gonna fix and mend things, move different, and we have to learn how to trust not just each other but ourselves. Because we are taking a chance, especially with a finite resource we call time. You have to always evaluate, why am I here? Reassure that person that your time here is invested, and it's not guaranteed you're gonna stay together. But in that time, you should be able to become a better person than when you came in. That's part of the goal. The other part, if you're really serious about going to long term, be ready for adversity. Have a healthy appetite for it, because you're going to run into it. So fuck with the family saying, fuck with social media saying all that stuff. It is y'all game, y'all house, y'all rules. And there should be a level of communication to where when things get tough, y'all can shut that shit down. I said, let's regroup. Let's get back on point and let's win this shit.
Yep.
That should be the mindset.
Yeah, that's fine.
I agree. I think we have to stop letting social media and society govern our relationships. If you really want to be married, you should not be sitting around listening to these gender war content. You really want a man? You really want a wife, a woman? You shouldn't be listening to none of that bullshit. I'm not even gonna name no names. But you shouldn't be listening to none of it, because all of it is toxic. Because either you're listening to people who never got it right, or you're listening to motherfuckers who never tried to get it right.
Have no clue.
And all you doing is sitting there listening to somebody else's problems, and then you mirroring it by saying, "Oh yeah, girl, that was me in 1994."
Trauma bonding.
Right.
Exactly.
It's goddamn 20 years later. And then you wonder why you still ain't got no man. It's because of what you're putting in your ears. Fellas too. You wonder why you're still spending the night at the Super 8 at Crackwood Suites with the girl you met in front of Wawa's. You wonder why that's keep happening to you? This is why. Because you're letting the world govern who you deal with, man. And this is the problem with a lot of Black people. We've allowed, at one point, us as a group, Blacks didn't care about what the world thought.
Right.
We were too busy building and creating the world and inventing shit.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Coretta didn't care about what they said about Martin Luther King. She was too busy being his wife. Women nowadays be more worried about who they man like, whose status he clicked the heart on, than if he coming home.
Right.
And then you stress him about liking pictures and liking statuses, and then when his ass don't come home no more, you wonder why. Because you stressing over internet goofy shit. because you listening to some internet hoes tell you, well, if he keep hearting your picture, he must like you. Like he can't like nobody else. He can't find nobody else attractive once he with you, huh? But you love him. He can't even find another woman attractive. He can't even tell another woman, hey, you look nice today, young lady. Because you so insecure, because your insecurity was built on Facebook. By the den of thieves on Facebook. Stealing your happiness. That's what these male content creators are doing to us men. They're stealing your goddamn, they're stealing what's left for you, brothers. That's why these brothers are dying and croaking. Because all the shit that's really in them, that they really want to do and really want to be, they've allowed it to be snuffed out of them. And we got to stop doing this. Brothers, if you was a young man and you always wanted to be married, don't let the internet deter you. Be the man you was designed to be. Don't let this world stop you. Men and women. Don't let this shit confuse you and start making you feel like, well, you know, based on what's going on out here. All right, people out here taking fentanyl. So let's talk about you're part of that. So you're a part of everything that go on in the world. So relationships ain't working for the world, so it ain't working for you. All these women getting cheated on, so you got to get cheated on too. All these men are abusive, so he got to abuse you too. You got to be a part of that. That's sick.
Right.
That's sick mind. You making yourself sick and driving yourself crazy. So now, hey, man, I say hi to you. He got a deep voice and he may be, you know, he might have a certain stature. Oh, he a bully. What's wrong? He mean. What's wrong with him? No, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why are you walking around with this perception of people? Like, what is wrong with you? Are you a monster? Because you sure could point out all the monsters. See how we're allowing society to destroy the fabric of who we are as people. And then we wonder why we can't relate and get along with people. Because look at this shit, look at how you view people. Look at the shit you say. Then people wonder why nobody want to be around them, why nobody want to hang out with you, and why you wonder why. You wonder why. People got to stop allowing, especially us black people, man, we got to stop allowing this shit to dictate who we are, because that's what we're doing. I don't care what the world says relationships is. You know what I care about? What me and that woman sitting in front of me is discussing. That's what matters. I don't care about our divorce rate.
Right.
I care about the rate me and that woman is going at. And that's what we all need to start focused on. This is why I say we got to heal before we build. Don't look for no husband if you ain't trying to get checked. If he mean and a bully and you ain't trying to have no husband, because you ain't trying to have no structure. And with structure, and when structure is being built, what maintains structure? Resistance. What does no denotes? Resistance. No. To resist you from going to blow all the goddamn money. It's called resistance. It's called structure. No, go sit down. You got everything you wanted. Why you still looking at the goddamn magazine? Ain't nothing else in there, babe. We got everything. What you looking for? Oh, you window shopping? All right, babe. I'll see you later. It's about structure, if that's what you want. Now, if that's not what you want, I can't force it on you. I can't force it on you. That's what it is.
Final thoughts.
I just want to add one thing. I agree with DS1 Ross. Society can't hold you at night. Society can't give you what you want. And at the end of the day, I could tell Nisha what I want. I could tell Adrian what I want, but they don't know what I need. And what I need, like Tracy said, might not fit into the norm of society. But I won't go out here and get what I need because I'm more worried about what somebody on the outside is talking about.
Exactly.
I need this, and this person provides this for me, and it's not everything that you need, and I'm good. And as far as getting to know each other and helping each other past their traumas, we don't sync with them. They don't drain us. Because a person that is hurting, they will hurt you. And they will be mad at you for trying to help them when they're hurting. Some people live in misery. They cannot survive without being miserable. And we have to make sure that even though we have empathy for people, that we can allow them to break us as well. Final thoughts? I want to know, if marriage is not the goal, what's the goal? That's what I want to know.
Want to start with the guys first?
Brothers, if marriage is not the goal, what is the goal?
Busting these nuts.
Oh my God. He said busting these nuts. I feel you though.
Amen. Amen. Because women like to bust nuts too.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted.
At least you're keeping it honest. My thing is this: if marriage is not the goal, why does why does anybody have to be a certain weight, a certain height? Do they have to make a certain amount of money? Do they cannot live with their mamas and daddies? Why do we have all these things that we need if marriage is not the goals? If marriage is not the goals, why can't he lie to us? Why can't he manipulate her? We're not trying to get married. Next. As soon as we see something wrong, next, if that's not the goal. We don't know.
Because the goal,
Just letting them.
because the goal for most people is to be stingy and selfish. They have their cake and eat it too.
Okay.
That's what it is. So even if you're not my husband, you still mine, because I gave you this raw box.
And I gave you this box, so we go together.
Okay.
Right.
That's
Real bad.
right there.
And you like
Real bad.
and you like playing all up in there and doing all types of fun things to me. So you can't be doing that to nobody else because I said so.
And we married. You just ain't gave me that ring yet.
Right.
But you also got to figure out if you want a feature or a fetish in your life.
A feature or a fetish?
You got to ask yourself that, because you got to move different according to what you're looking for. But the main person you got to deal with is a reflection in the mirror, because who you choose, one or many, they are a reflection of you, and your standards are what you claim to have. Not everybody is that boss or that boss bitch they say they are. Because when adversity shows up, it's going to show exactly what you're really about. All that talk is going to cease, and then you're going to see what it really is. The messed up thing is, if you are not prepared to stand on that, the person you have in your life, they're going to treat you accordingly too.
Yeah. Your turn.
Well, I think the goal is peace. I want peace. I don't want no drama. I just think if you come to a point, especially if you're younger, then it might be some other things. Your goals may be different. But right now, at the age that I am and the age that the group of women that I talk to on a regular basis that are out there dating, they're looking for peace. They're tired of the drama and the chaos. And they're rightfully, like you were mentioning earlier, Mona, that some people function in chaos and drama. They function well in it. I don't want that. And I think nowadays, if we can just be on the same accord and not necessarily marriage, I don't think it has to be marriage. The goal for me is just peace. I just want no stress.
I want to add real quick, Adrian, if you want peace, you got to be prepared to fight.
Yeah. Oh, I stay ready. Squared
That's the
up.
whole thing about the four P's. The whole thing of the four P's is talking about protection, provision, problem solving, procreation.
Right.
You need those boundaries because, again, like some people's going to threaten your peace, even the people who you're
Yes.
offering a peace to.
True. True. And I come with so many good attributes. I mean, like, I got old school values. I'm not trying to sell myself on here right now, but I'm just saying, I do. You know, I still like to cook and clean and pamper my man, but I just think marriage is so far removed right now because I've had so much trauma and so much chaos and bullshit. And so now if you just come peacefully and we hang out a little bit and we do our thing, and don't be telling me no to no dick.
Oh, well, we
Just saying.
we not interviewing you.
Oh, okay.
Adrian.
I'm like, you know how I get this now. This is my show.
We're not interviewing you. We talk about these young folks.
We want to talk about well.
We want them to answer the question: if marriage is not goals, what is goals? And if you have no goals, if you have no plans, then we should just be out here living our lives and not complaining about a damn thing.
Enjoy life. Don't
Brothers, you guys
complicate
have some final thoughts for today?
I say take yourself seriously. How you move, how you talk, everything you do. And if people see that you do that and they fuck with that, they're going to roll with that. Mm-hmm. But they have to understand, too, it's like if you're talking about marriage, you're going to have to divorce and bury your trauma. Learn the lessons that from the scars that they teach you. Mm-hmm. But you can't hang on to that being addicted to being a patient.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Learn to be patient with your progress. That's all.
Stop picking the scabs.
Yes, one.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear him.
Y'all can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I want to say shout out to y'all first. First of all, shout out to y'all on y'all anniversary show. Shout out to y'all. And my final thought is, fellas, if the goal for y'all, for you individually, is not to be married, get off the whole train about what these women are doing and what they not doing and how much they charging. And because, dog, you a customer. Mm-hmm. You a customer. So let's start dealing in reality. It's 2023. Let's start dealing in reality, man. Either you want it or you don't. And just be honest. Because you only got one shot at this shit anyway. Mm-hmm. So it makes no sense to lie to yourself about nothing. Just be honest. And if we're grown, we do what grown-ups do. That's it. Kids sit around and like to manipulate and lie to get their way. Adults shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to lie and finesse and make you feel wanted for you to want it, knowing you want it anyway. Like, let's stop. Let's stop that. That creates a whole clusterfuck of bullshit. Mm-hmm. Now you crying, I thought this.
Yeah.
You really thought that? No, but and you niggas are the same way. You hit the Cash App. Oh, these women and these women. Really, bro? You really got a problem with Brittany Renner? You really do? You really got a problem with Ice Spice? You really do? You do? Stop. You're a munch. Stop. You give her what she wants. Yes. She does what she wants. She say what she wants. To you. And you still give her what she wants. Mm-hmm. And you thought she was feeling you. You're a munch.
Final
just be honest. Just Just be honest with ourselves, fellas. There's no need to keep going through this bullshit. Women, same thing. If you know you're just showing up to get knocked out, figuratively, just don't, when you wake up, don't expect Ruth Chris and a long walk in the park like Jill Scott. We not lighting candles. We not doing that. Okay? So let's just be honest so we can keep the confusion off of both of us. See, this is how we properly understand that we both need to heal from trauma.
Exactly.
You keep your bullshit to yourself, I'm gonna keep my bullshit to myself. And we both gonna try not to let that bullshit intercept each other. That's what we gonna do. Because we both know we got some shit with us. And the first thing we better do is be honest. That's number one. And just because you honest with a man don't mean, he gonna look at you wrong. Because men respect honesty. We don't respect when you lie about who you are. Just like y'all don't. Y'all don't like when we show up as these great old leader type men and then we ain't shit. And we don't like for y'all to show up like y'all are these wholesome women and, you end up acting like Coi Leray. So that's my final thoughts, man. Let's just keep it honest to keep all the bullshit away from both of us. Because my thing is this, I don't want to bring no bullshit in no woman's life, just like I don't want no woman bringing no bullshit to me.
Right.
I ain't trying to hurt nobody, just like I ain't trying to be hurt.
Amen.
Makes sense.
Final thoughts, Nisha?
I put this shoulder up, and then I drop it because I don't care. No, I'm just kidding.
I was waiting too.
I'm joking.
I want to see you drop it.
I'm joking. Marriage is the end game for me. Marriage is the end game for me. And I believe, like, as far as using myself as a resource, I like to hold myself accountable. And I like to deal with men that do the same. I'm not asking for consistency, loyalty, honesty, traditional values. I'm not asking for that if I can't do that myself. And I think a lot of us have been going at it wrong because we've been asking, but not giving too. And when you enter relationships, if that's what you really want, it's not about the I, it's about the we. And a lot of us have individualistic mindsets, and we got to change that. Also, get your ass off of social media, because social media is going to keep you single. You got a lot of broken people, a lot of negative people, a lot of hurt people getting behind mics, spewing their verbiage, spewing their hurt, spewing their trauma, and we're bonding with that and making it our own. And we got to stop that. So if you are for marriage, put yourself in a position to get married. If you about being single, keep yourself single. Put yourself in a position of being single and be honest with that other person. I do agree with healing. I also agree with healing, learning from your lessons, and then applying it. Like, that's my motto. You do have to heal, but you have to learn from your lessons too so that you don't repeat it, right? And you have to apply it. You can't be afraid. You can't live in a place of fear. You can't sit there and say, I'm avoiding everybody because of what happened yesteryear. You have to learn from it, heal from it, and then apply your lessons. This has been a good show. I'm super excited. I'm so happy we made it to our 100th episode. I'm glad we got our first caller today. Shout out to him. I'm glad we had people in the chat who were talking, and they've been saying a mouthful. Shout out to all of y'all. And that's my final thought. I'm giving it to Mona.
My final thought is, if I love you and you love me, we're going to keep on loving each other. We need two givers in this relationship, because two people do get together so that to do things for each other so nobody else will. Is that correct?
True.
Like Nisha said, we be accountable. and responsible for your part of the relationship. And just because somebody is transparent with you, that doesn't mean the other person has to correct themselves immediately. And we need transparency. We need patience. We need to be more kind and more loving to one another. We are Black people. We're supposed to love on each other. Thank you, each and every one of you that did join us today. This is our 100th episode. Thank you for our first caller. Thank you to our family, Mr. Ronan Martin and DS1 Ross. We could not have done this without you. Like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment. Until the next episode, BGP, ladies, keep them panties clean because they say they don't want it. They'll take it, but they might not want to put a ring on it. So be careful, BGP, and we out.
Yeah.